If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Guys, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, welcome Uju. Welcome Uju. The rest of the others, I want to know how many of us that are here. Good evening, everyone. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you're here. Let me see you. Okay. Thank you, David. Welcome. Good evening. All right. I want to see others. Who else is here? It can't be only Eze and David. Please, who else is here? Okay, Cynthia. Welcome, Cynthia. Two more minutes for other people to join up. You can use the comment section so I can see you. So I have Eze, I have David, I have Cynthia. Where are all these people that have been disturbing me with this Power BI assignment? Please use the comment section. Let me know how many of us that are here. Wow. Okay. All right. I guess we should start. Okay. Olusanya. All right. Good evening. Good evening, Olusanya. Okay, I guess we should start right away. If you can hear me, I hope all of you can hear me to start with. I hope I'm very audible. Use the comment section. Let me know your response from the comment section. Am I audible enough? Please, someone should tell me, am I audible enough? Okay. All right. So we have our Power BI assignment before us, and the task that you were given is this. You were provided with a data set, and you were asked to import the data task. The first task that you were asked to do, that is the part A. That is the first thing that you have to do when you have a data that you are to work on, that you are to analyze. They said you should import the data and clean the data. And the first thing to do is to import that data, whether it is a CSV file, whether it is an Excel file, whatever kind of file it is, you have been asked to the first thing that you will need to do is to import that data. All right? The first thing that you will need to do is to import that data. So we'll go straight up to import the data that we have, that we are going to use for this work. That is the first step. Remember, I during my interactive sessions, I don't know whether it was during the interactive sessions or one of the sessions that I've had with people, when you were faced with a problem, in this case, you guys were, this is exam made easy. This place, you have everything was made easy or is made easy for you, right? You were given the objective, and that is to practice how to import data, clean, and so this is basically for learning, right? So the first thing that you will do when you have data before you as a data analyst is, number one, to understand the data that you have, and then understand your target audience. I presume that we would have a pen and a paper, because this is just the review. I'll try to carry us through up to a safe place where you guys can carry on. Understand your target audience. That is number one thing that you would do, right? If the audience that you are working for, or the people that insight that you're generating will serve, is in the rural area, you make sure that everything that you are going to do, or the terms that you're going to use at the end of the day, will be such that people living in that area or your target customers would understand it. When you know your target audience, then you understand the data that you're working with. When you have fully comprehended the nature of the data that you're working with, the next thing is to know what your client wants. That is basically what these three things first. They are the first things you need to know when you have a data before you. In this case, you just need to, practice. You have been given questions to answer. You have been told what to do. So the first part here, let's presume that you already have a target audience, and that audience are people living in the urban centers. And it is a sales data. Obviously, in our sales data, from the columns that we have here, we have the order ID, the order date, the customer name, the region, the product, the quantity, the unit price, and the sales amount. So we see that basically we have what we have here is basically the product, yes, the product demographics, and a little bit of a little bit about the customer, that is the people that walked into the store. So most of the insights that you would generate from this data is, or will yield, would align towards the product and the sales that was made, because basically we have the order date, the order ID, the product, so everything is centered mostly around the product, right? So the product demo is more pronounced than any other thing in this data. So we're going to see from the data that we have, we're going to see things that align with the product, like probably the area, the region where the product was sold more, depending on the question that you have been asked to answer. All right, so we understand that this is a sales data that aligns more to the product that is being sold, and a little bit of the customers. The customer, the clients, the people that walked into the store. Okay, so we understand that for the data that we are working on. Now, the person that owns this data just wants you to clean the data and answer these questions that he or she has brought out, has enumerated for you, and that is what we are going to do. Remember, first of all, we established that this data, the audience, our target audience are people living in the urban centers. That is number one. Number two, we understand that this data is a sales data that has more information about the product and a little bit of the customers that walked into the store. How do I know that? Because of all these things here, these columns, the various columns that I have. So the next thing was, if the client had asked us a particular question, maybe we want to know why this product is not doing well here and there and there, that would be our main focus. But he didn't ask that question. He or she didn't ask the question. Just gave us tasks that he needed for us to do on this data. So that is exactly what you're going to do. When you understand your target audience, you understand the data that you're working on. The next thing is what your client wants. You can't do anything outside of what your client wants, because it is based on what your client wants that you will, generate the insights that you need. So after you must have understood this, you go back to your Power BI environment and do what? You import your data. That is the first step of the work. That means you have started to work. Going back to your Power BI environment and to import your data. So let's move to our Power BI environment. This is my Power BI environment. And the first thing for me to do here is to import my data. I'll go to get If you want to bring data into your Power BI environment, this live session is not recorded. So please, as much as you can, pick everything that you would want to pick. I'm not recording this session. All right? Have a pen and a paper. If you have a question, you can drop it on the comment section and I will respond to your question from there. I can only see your comments. Right? So you go to get data. However, whichever type of data, how you bring data into your Power BI environment is through this place. Get data. Now, this opens a variety of sources, different places where you can bring in your data into your working environment. If it is an Excel sheet, you click on this. It will bring out only Excel work, everything that has to do with Excel, any data that is Excel, based in your system. You click on this. If it is a Power BI schematic model, if it is a data flow, if it is data verse, SQL, wherever it is, or whatever it is that your file is saved as, your data is saved as, you go to that place and click on it and bring in your data. It could be a web data, it could be a blank query, it could be from anywhere, it could be a text or CSV file. Assuming you don't see the file extension of your data here, you can click on more. Now, this more brings out a variety of sources where you can get your data from. In this case, our data is a CSV file. You click on this and then click on connect. Now, because the file is saved in my system, the data that I want to work with is saved in my system. I'll then go to the actual place I saved it, and it will bring every data that is under CSV for me. It's a cell. I think this is the data. Yeah, I think that's the data. I'll click on open and it will bring it in. Let's wait for it to connect. Good. This is the data. Remember, the first thing you need to do is to bring in your data. They said you load your data, you bring in your data into your working environment. And this is the data. I want to load it. After loading, I'll go to transform. You can go straight to transform your data, but for the sake of learning, I will take it step by step. Yeah? So we'll load this data. It's loading up. While it's loading, let's check the next question. It says, import the data into your Power BI, then inspect the data sets for missing values or duplicate rows and clean them. That is the second thing we need to do. I'm practically doing this job for us. We have imported our data. So the next thing is for us to go clean our data. And where do we clean our data? We clean our data in Power BI query environment, query editor. We'll get to that place. And how do I get to that place? That place is as more like, you can call it the kitchen of the Power BI. Click, see where I went to transform data. I'll go to this place. I'll click on transform. Then my Power Query editor comes up. All right, my Power Query editor comes up. This Power Query editor environment, like I said earlier, is we can say it is the kitchen of this place. Why do I say that? Because this is where you clean your data. This is where you remove duplicates. This is where you check for missing values. This is where you put your data in order. Like, this is where you make your data functional. If you have a data that is up to like 1,000, or what is 1,000? 50,000 or more, you have to sit down and work on this data one by one. A data analyst spends 80 to 90% of their time here cleaning data, because if your data is not clean, it means that the insights you would generate, the results that you would give, would be wrong. That is why we spend a lot of time cleaning data. That is why we sit down here, and if you're using your Power BI to work, to clean your data, make sure that what you have is exactly what you need. If there is anything here that you don't understand, we always encourage that you work with the people that gave you the job. If there is an empty space that is not supposed to be, you can work with the people that gave you the job and ask them, oh, look at this, look at that. Why is it this way? Please, I need this information. Please, I need this information. Because if you assume, it will give you an error at the end of the day. So you need to work with the people that gave you the job. And if they say that this is good, you carry on. So you check for duplicates, you check for the right data type, yeah, you check for missing values, you check for things that are not spelled right, and every other thing that you can check for, just to make sure that your data is working. Now, when you must have finished checking for these things, you are sure that the data is clean, that's when you can go ahead to run any other stuff that you need to do, whether it is DAX DAX expressions or any other thing, because you cannot create expressions when your data is still dirty. It will give you wrong answers. And when you have wrong answers, you cannot give the right solutions at the end of the day. You can't even recommend the right things at the end of the day. That is why we clean data. All right. This data that we have here, I don't know how yours is, but I think, okay, I don't know how yours is. I've worked on this data before. So is almost, if not 100% clean. I think it should be 100% clean because I've worked on this data before. Now, a good number of you will ask me, how did I get this stuff here? All these lines here. You go to view, check column quality, check column distribution. If you want to check column profile as well, column profile will tell you all the information as regards each column that you have. All right. For instance, this other ID, if I go down, it will give me all the information, the minimum value, the maximum value, the average of that column. If it has any error, it will show me. If it has any empty space, it will show me. Distinct and unique values. None means any column or any row rather that has 0 in it. So all of these things, no value at all. Sorry, no. This means no value. No, there is no row that does not have value in it. There is no row that has 0 in it. I've worked on this data before, and if you look at this, it says valid 100%, meaning that my data is clean. Why I love to use this is that it helps me to know when I'm done cleaning, like when there is still an issue and when there is no issue. That is why I love to put these things here. So I just showed you guys one hack that can help you when you're working. So, but for the sake of tomorrow, when you have your data, once you have brought it in, you check for the right data type. It's very important. If your work is in the wrong data type, it can affect your outcome. So we have order ID, and order ID can be a string, it can be numbers. In this case, we have order ID that does not have alphabet in it. So it is in the right data type, 1, 2, 3. Order dates, definitely dates should be order dates. And this is correct. The customer name is alphabet. So this is correct. The regions, alphabet. This is correct. Product, alphabet. This is correct. And you carry on to quantity. This is 1, 2, 3. Unit price. This is 1, 2, 3. Sales amount. 1, 2, 3. And so everything is in order. From here, okay, from here, like I said earlier, you can see that there is no error. But I will just take you guys through it, how to check for missing values, how to check for duplicates and the rest of that. Now, you can, if you want to, the next thing for you to do is to remove duplicate. Mind you, it's not every column that you should remove duplicates from. It is not every column that you should remove duplicates from. There are some columns that it is right for them to have duplicates, but there are some other columns that cannot have duplicates. A case in point is, let's say a university, in your school, or in the school, your username, what they call it, your matric number is peculiar to you. Your student number is peculiar to you. There are no two people that would answer that would have that same student number. All right. So in this column, we have order ID. Order ID is peculiar to a customer and the product that they have bought. The order ID for this one, like Sarah Lee here, bought a phone, and the ID for that phone is 1001. It is unique to phone that was bought by Sarah Lee here in this region. No other product here can have this 1001 ID for anything, and under this region it's not possible, because if it is, it means that there will be clashes. So this other ID cannot have duplicates. So let's say I'm working. The next thing for me to do here is I'll right click on this place, right click and say and go to remove duplicates. I'll search for remove duplicates. Let's say, look at it. I'll click on this, and assuming that there are duplicates, the duplicates will go. I click on it, the duplicate values will leave. I'll repeat same for any other column that I know rightly should not have a duplicate. Do you guys follow? Any questions so far? You can use the comments. Any questions so far? Guys, I'm in the comments. Any questions so far? Okay, I guess. All right, I guess all of us are following. Good. So other dates, this column has the right to have a duplicate, right? Because someone can buy 2 or 3 products the same day, right? Now we have customer name. In one of the groups I saw someone saying Sarah Lee. Yeah, each product, number one, it is possible to have 2 persons answering the same name. It is possible. I don't know if that person is here, right? It's possible for 2 people to answer the same name, even living in the same locality. But it's not possible that they will come and purchase the same product at the same time and the same date. It's not possible. Yeah? So here we have Sarah Lee from the north, and she bought a phone. And phone has this unique ID 1001. She equally bought monitor with this unique ID 1002. Then another Sarah Lee from the south bought a tablet. Alright, this Sarah Lee, the third one, is possible that she's not the same with these first 2, because this one is in the southern region. And she bought something unique. So it's possible that 2 people will answer the same name, patronize the same store, but maybe not buy the same product. And even if they buy the same product, it can be at the same time. And it's possible it can be at the same date. All right. So I think if that person is here, I think this should answer your question. So if you come to a customer name, it's possible to have duplicates. Please don't remove the duplicates. Please don't remove the duplicate. If you find duplicate names for different products, please leave it like that. Don't say that I have had this name before, so I should remove it. It's a lie. You're going to affect the data that you're working on. All right. So someone is saying which columns are or should be left with the duplicates. You would use your initiative. That is why you're a data analyst. You don't just need the tools. You need your critical thinking ability. Once you're a data analyst, you wear your critical thinking cap. Based on the question that you're answering, you should know columns to leave and columns that are that you are not meant to remove the duplicates. But in a nutshell, you can only remove duplicates from columns that are distinct, like they cannot afford not to stand alone. For instance, the order ID. There are no 2 orders that will have the same ID. Never. So you use your critical thinking cap to do that. That is why they have employed you to help for you to help them do the job. All right. So that is that. For who asked the question, I don't know. All right. So that is that. Now, products. Obviously the products would duplicate because different people would buy different things or the same thing. All right. So, and what's that? Somebody bought tablets here. Sarah Lee bought tablets. Anna White bought another tablet. Who else? Anna White bought tablet. So you cannot remove duplicates from the products because obviously they repeat. Now the quantity that was bought obviously will have duplicates. Unit price, same thing. Sales amount surely will have duplicates. The next thing is you check for the right spellings. Remember, I've done all of this. If you look at all of this, it's 100%, 100%, 100%. So I've worked on this data before. Now, you check for the right spellings for the, most times, you choose the columns that you need more, to work on. You need to work on for the results that you want to give out. Those are the columns you concentrate on very much, because that is where you generate your insight from. Now you can check the right spellings if it is correct. If it's not correct, you check it. If there are null values, when I mean null values, it will be written null, right? Null. It's not zero. Zero is a value. It is null, empty, nothing there. Okay? You would ask them, please, does it mean that this person that the record was given here does not have anything attached to? You would have to ask questions, work closely with the people that you're working on. If it is a data that you're using for practice, you use your initiative to know, depending on the question, depending on the outcome that you're looking for. If that particular column is not so necessary, if it is not so necessary for the result that you want to give out, you can delete the empty columns. Take, for instance, if I have null anywhere here, I can easily remove that null because I might not be using customer name for anything. I can easily say remove empty spaces and it will go, because I am not using customer name for anything. So, but if the column is a column that you need for the analysis, for the insights that you need to generate, please ask the people that gave you the job. For instance, if it is a salary column where someone's name appeared but the salary is not there, fall back to the people that you're working with. If you're working alone, if you're doing a practice and you have something like that, use your mean value. And in this case here, average and mean, they are the same thing. You can use the average of the entire column to fill up for that missing value there. All right, so that is that, and it's quite easy to check for empty spaces. You can remove empty from here, assuming it's not showing here. If it is showing here, just uncheck. But if it's not, you just click on empty. Where did I go to? I just clicked on this small arrow here, and you are good to go. Now, these applied steps, it's every step that I take, every single step that I take will appear here. And supposing I'm working and I make a mistake, this place allows me gives me the opportunity to travel back in time. I can go back to the first step and correct my mistake and continue my work. So we have loaded our data. We have cleaned our data. It is 100% clean. Now the third thing that they asked us to do is, I think, was that again? Let me see. They say I have to be fast. Create a calculated column, which is profit equal to sales amount times 0.2 margin or whatever. Okay, that is what we have been asked to do. Now the sales amount has been given to us already. When you have finished working on your data, you get to this place here, close and apply. Guys, look at it, close and apply. That is what you would do. When you have finished cleaning your data and it's clean, please, you go to close and apply and let it load. There's something we call ETL, extract, transform, and load. When you extract the data from wherever it is, you transform that data, then you load it back to your working environment. We have transformed the data in the Power BI Power Query Editor environment. Now the next thing for us to do is to get it back to our Power BI environment. The other side was Power Query and Power Editor environment. Power Query Editor environment. Here is your Power BI environment where you would do all the other things that we need to do. Now they said create a calculated column. A column, calculated column means a column that was gotten. How you got that column is by calculating, putting 2 and 2 together to get the answer. That is how you got that column. We know that this is a column, this is a column, this is a column, up till this ones. These ones were given to us, but they need us to give another column that is calculated, which is going to be the profit. They even gave us the formula that we are going to use, and the formula they said is sales amount multiplied by 0.2. Now, how did they get that? Let's get to our data. Let's go to the table view. This is our data. All right. This is our data. We have our sales amount here, which is the sales amount here is the collection of the unit price and the quantity. The sales amount here represents the unit price multiplied by the quantity that was sold. If you look at this is 300 multiplied by 4 is 12, and if you keep calculating, it will give you the same thing. This is not the cost price. We were not given the cost price. If you get to any supermarket, what you see, that price tag that you see on that product you want to buy is the unit price and not the cost price. They did not tell us the price that they bought it from the manufacturer or from wherever that they bought it from. What we have is the unit price, meaning that the unit price is the cost price plus their gain. All right, the unit price is the cost price plus the gain that the person selling that product to you would make. All right, so in this unit price, they have already added their profit, their gain. So they need us to calculate, to create another column, where we would put out all of the profit that was made. And it is as if they gave us a general profit, which is 0.2 or 20% or whatever the case may be. All right, that is what was made on all the products. All right, that is what was made on all the products. So how do we go about this? You go to new column. Remember, we want to insert our calculated column. You go to new column, click on it, click on this, and it's coming. So we are going to put in our formula. Remember, it's a calculated column. It's not an ordinary column. It's a calculated column. It is the addition or the multiplication or the subtraction of 2 things or 3 things to give us what will be there. And what they want to be there is the profit that was made. They want to know the profit that was made on each of these products. So we have profit. Profit equals sales amount. Once you put the S, this will come out, the sales amount multiplied by 0.2. Multiplication is asterisk 0.2. And when you are done, you click on enter. So the profit that was made for 4 pieces of phone sold at 300 naira for one, and total amount 1 2. The profit that was made here is 240. If you're a good mathematician, if you add this up, you will see that it is correct. For 20% profit made on each product, 20% profit made on each product. If you add these things up, it will give you the 20% profit for each product that was sold at 300 naira. You will see that this is correct. But if it's too much for you, just understand what I did here to get to this point. those of you that were having a difficult time calculating or getting to the calculated column, is it okay now? Are you guys good now? Are you guys okay now? Are you guys okay? Should I go ahead? All right. All right. Okay. So this is this for the calculated column, right? This is this for the calculated column. The part B, we have finished with the first part of our work. The second part says create a date table and relate it to the other table. A lot of you had issues with this, creating a date table. A whole lot of you had issues with this. I had to share the link. Still some of us didn't get it, so but we'll do it together now. Now you guys will have to understand that this second part, I intentionally put it there because it is a great skill of time intelligence that any data analyst should have. It is a very, very great skill, any data analyst should, understand how a date table works and what happens there. You don't have to cram the formula, just understand what happens there. All right. So let's see. You go to your model view. We have created this first one. So the next one for our date table, we go to our model view. Right. When you get to your model view or the model tab, whichever one that you have, let's go to new table. Where is that? New table. This, because we want to create a new table entirely. Modeling is all about creating relationships, not model. I said modeling. A model is different. Modeling is different. Modeling in data analytics is all about creating relationships. But a model is like a machine. Yeah, let me just call it a machine that a data scientist or a data engineer is trying, to build a model. We want to build a model. It could be a structure, it could be a pattern, yeah, but it's more like a machine. But modeling is like, when you hear modeling, you know that we are talking about relationships. I hope you guys get that. All right. So when you get to this place, go to new table. It's a new table that we want to create. Go to new table here, and then this is the table, and we'll create we will write the formula that we want to use to create this table. Now we'll write that formula, and I would explain the formula. So this is date table. Let's call it date table. Yeah. Now there are various ways to do this. You can do it at your Power Query, Power Editor environment. You can use DAX expressions and other things, but it is recommended that you use DAX. The other ones, they are a little bit ambiguous, right? DAX is straight to the point and easy to understand. Okay, what we want to create is a date table, and date calendar. When you want to look for date, you go to your calendar, right? So the first thing that you will write, you will call the calendar function. You call the calendar formula. You call the calendar function that is inbuilt in Power BI. So we say calendar, just the calendar. Now inside the calendar, what do we want? we want a date, the start date, like where, sorry, okay, what do you want? We want a date. So you type in date. Now this date, from where to where, you check your data. The information that you have in that your data is from which year to which year. I think it's just, I checked it, I think it's just 2023. Yeah, if you have 2022 to 2023, this is where you put it. You first of all put out the year, like you were seeing here. To tell you what to do, you put out the year. I have 2023, comma, month from January, or January, and then the day, January 1, 2023. That is the start date. I'll close this. All right, and then where is it ending? Where is it ending? Is it just 2023? Do you have 2023 to 2025? Do you have from whichever, however it is the date is, you check from the data that you have already, and to make sure that you will accommodate every information that you have in your data set. Okay, comma. Then you put date again. It is a date table that we are creating, so everything, there has to be date in it. To 2023. My own is just 2023. If your own, if the data that you have is more than that, well, I don't know, but mine is just 2023. I think that it should be the same thing, comma, 12. The month is 12, and the year, the day rather, is from 1st of January to December. Yeah, 31st rather. Sorry, not first, to the 31st of December. You close it. Okay, with double braces, you close it. So the next thing is to bring in another column. We have our calendar dates now, so everything that we are going to do is will accommodate 2023 January 1 December to December 31st 2023. Now we want to create another column that is here. This is this column will accommodate all the year that we have, if you have more than 1 year, but here we just have 1 year, so we just create the year and just write 2020, have 2023 be there. So we say, because this is a column name, you put a string year. Sorry, I want to write it here like Y in capital. Yeah. All right, and then I close this, comma, year. There should be comma here. Then you open your braces, square brackets, date again, DATE. Sorry, this is block. Then you close this. Okay, come, I'll explain this formula. Let me just put it out very quickly. Then month, NTH, yes, oh sorry, month, let's put month number first. This is another column, month number, comma, month, yeah, square bracket, date, square bracket, close it, comma, then month name, font name should take a format. Yeah, and then should be, the format should be close it. This shouldn't be here. Why is it giving me all this error? All right. Year date. Okay. This is block. You should just be careful while writing this, because any mistake would give you an error. All right. And let me be sure that I have everything written out well. Yeah. Okay. Close the bracket, and then I can put on the quarter as pattern. It will take Q, format. Oh yeah. Format. There's a problem here. And the format is another date. Comma Q. All right. Let's see where the problem is coming from. We have calendar. We open the bracket here, and then this, and close this here, open another braces, and close this here. All right, let's see. Comma, open and close. Month number, comma, month. Oh, let's see. This not correct. This, yeah, we have month. Where's our month? Yeah, and date. A month. This is for month number. Let's see. There is an error. Let's see where the error is coming from. Let's write this again. You just have to be careful. We have calendar, starting date and ending date. Starting date, comma, then ending date here. We have our year. That is not working. Comma. That comma is not supposed to be there. Syntax year is incorrect. Okay. Okay. This, let me see. Let's type this again and see. Let's type this again and see where the error is coming from. Let me take time and see, because this is not supposed to give me an error. Then I have year, this is a column name. Okay, I missed something. Yeah, I missed something. Date table. I should tell this I should tell this calendar to accept columns, and that is where I missed it. I just saw it. I just noticed it now. First of all, you say add columns. I was thinking so that it can accept all these other columns that we were putting in it. All right. So this should work now. Here, you open your bracket, square brackets, square bracket, date. This should work now. Close this, comma. All right. Okay, carry on and see, comma. Guys, I hope you're not confused. Please, this functions and formulas, you just have to be extra careful. Yeah, you just have to be extra careful. You add columns, and then let me just start afresh so that this thing will clear from my screen. So okay, date table equals add columns, then calendar, then the date 2023, comma, from January here, comma, right, sorry, you close it, comma, to date again, 2023, comma, 12, comma, 1. Watch it the month before the day. You close it, double close your. The next is, sorry, the year. I have create another column here. Year. Square brackets, dates. Made a mistake with this. All right, then comma, then another column is the month. Month number, or the month number, comma, and then we have the month, open your braces, dates, sorry, should be capital letter, comma, then the month's name, the month's name should have a format. Dates, format, it's not in all cases that you do this, but I had to do this so that when you call yourself a data analyst, you will know that you are a data analyst. Yeah, at least if you're able to write an expression, DAX expression, then you can beat your chest that you are a data analyst. And then this is the format you should take. Then you close this, put a comma. Then quarter, QRTER, comma, Q square bracket again. Right, and then this. Okay. Expected expression. trying to see why this is giving error. It's not supposed to give us an error. Why? Let's look very closely and see where the error is coming from. Very, very closely and see where the error is coming from. It's not meant to give an error. These expressions can be, these formulas, if you're not careful. Let's see very closely. Is it because I'm not using capital letter? Why? Sorry. Let's see. Yeah. I think because I've not used capitals. Let me see. Because it's not supposed to give me any error at all. There's supposed to be a comma here, and then yeah. Guys, just be patient. We'll get through this. Comma. I think it's working now. It's working now. It's in perfect order now. It's working now. You see, I didn't put a comma here before, and this was written in small letters. That was why it was giving us that error. That's why it was giving us that error. Let's run this and see. It's in perfect order now. It has created. Guys, it has created. Let's explain this code now. Let's explain this code now. So we say the first thing to do is to add. The first thing to do is to add columns. Then you add your calendar, and your calendar would be from the year, like the year that is contained in your data, from the beginning to the end. You check the dates, other dates on your data, and know the date and the year that was written there. So it's in the data that we have is from January 2023 to December 2023. Now I created a column. This here is a column known as year, and all these things this year, this is what will be inside this year column. What did I tell it? Please put in the year, the current year, according to this calendar that we have here. Now the month number, I created another column known as month number. And what did I tell? Please, according to these dates here, please find the month number for each of the months and put it under this column. Now the month name should have this format, meaning this means write the month name complete. If I want the month name to be just 3, I'll cut this M. I'll cut this M into 3. Yeah, I'll remove 1, and I'll just have the month name reduced to something like, for instance, January, you have something like JAN. All right, and then the quarter, I created another column known as the quarter. It should, please, from this date equally, from this January to December, find the quarter for each of the months and put it under this quarter column. That is exactly what we did here. That is exactly what this formula means. It is good for you to understand the formula, but please Don't cram. I don't always encourage my students to cram. Understand the formula. Remember I said earlier that this is a very, very intelligent skill for you to have as a data analyst. So if you understand the formula, you can equally apply it in another case. For instance, if you need to put the days here, it is still the same process. All you need to do is to create another column before this this last bracket. You create another column, days. You write it days, and then repeat the same format that you used for this month. You know, your days, you can write the days complete. You can write it in a short form. So this same format that you use for the month's name, you can use it for the days, and so on and so forth. All right. When you must have created this, you come to this place. You come to your table view. We want to see the table that we have created, right? We want to see the table that we have created. We will go to our, first of all, go to our table view to view this table, and then we'll mark it as a date table so that Power BI would understand that this information that is here is a date table, contains dates in it. Look at, where is it? This is it. So you come to this place. I went to the second place. Come to this place and mark it as a date table. You click on it. Mark as a date table. Put it on. To enable the creation of date visual tables, keep mark as a date table. Put it on now. Choose the columns, the dates, and then you save. So it sees this information as a date table. Now, for me to be able to do anything, like if I'm creating visuals and I want to put the dates and the rest of that, the fact that I've marked it as a date table would enable me to do that. Do we understand what I just did? You see, I knew it was giving me error. All those red lines. This is not my first time of working on DAX, but if you're using if you're doing anything that has to do with formulas or functions, and you're writing a formula and you're having a lot of red lines, and here you are having some red line here, just know that you are having an error. If you're writing a formula, and you have red lines underneath your formulas, just know that there is error somewhere. You go back and check the formula. This is like programming in Power BI. All right. So what don't we understand? Is it the formula or what I just did? Let me understand. What don't we understand? The formula. I will go through the formula again. I should go through the formula again. Guys, I need an answer. Should I go through the formula again? I want this time that I have made out to be useful to all of us. Like, I'm running behind. I have another meeting very shortly. So please, guys, what do you want me to do? Explain the formula again? Please tell me on the comment section. I'm there. I'm waiting. Should I explain the formula again? I knew it was giving me error because I saw all those. Okay, the white thing format. Which one is the white thing format? Okay. The quarter. Okay. I knew it was giving me error because I had red lines under it. I knew it wasn't going to run. I knew it wasn't going to run. So let me go through this formula again. They said we should create a date table, and a date table requires year, month, and what else? And day. Yeah. In some cases, you have month number, month name, and the rest of that. In fact, a full calendar. That is what a date table requires. All right, I'll see how to drop the formula on the WhatsApp group. I don't know the team that you're in, but I will drop the formula in the WhatsApp group. Now, back to what I was saying. A date table should accommodate a full calendar. And a full calendar has the year in it, the month in it, quarter in it, days in it. If you want to find the month number, what I mean by month number, January is month number 1, July is month number 7, December is month number. So if you want to find that, you can equally find that in your calendar. So for your analysis, you need a date table, and they asked you to create it. And you know that inside that date table, you would have a year, you have your year, you have your month, you have quarter, you have any other thing that you have been asked to, show in your date table. What are you going to do? First of all, you click on these things are inbuilt functions. I didn't generate them. These things are inbuilt functions. So the first thing for you to do before you add your calendar, before you bring in your calendar, before you call in your calendar function, is to call this formula, function add columns. Because you know that inside your calendar, you will be adding columns. You will be adding year, you will be adding month, you will be adding days, as the case may be, depending on what you have been asked. All right, depending on what you have been asked to do. So we say add columns. After adding the columns, the next thing for you to do is to bring in your calendar that contains the year or the years, as the case may be, from if on your data, if you have from year 2000 to year 2005, in your calendar you accommodate year 2000 to year 2005, just as we did here. All right, just as we did here. If the formula is written out in the comment section or on our WhatsApp, I can't see clearly through your phone. Okay, I'll try and drop the formula. On the group, team 1. Yeah. But try and understand the formula first. Then, after bringing in the years, after bringing in your calendar, the next thing is the creating your columns. I'll drop the formula on the group. Creating your columns. Yeah. So for the first one, I created a column here. That is why this thing is inside quotation marks. Create the column here, and please, from this calendar, pick the years and align them under this year column. That is what all these ones means. Year, date. Create another column, month number, and from this calendar here, please pick the various month numbers and place it under this month number. Then another column, month name. Please, from this calendar, pick the various months and put it under this month name. And this month name, please, it should take this format. M. If I remove one M now, guys, follow me carefully. If I remove one M now and run this under this and run this, press enter. You see, it has changed from full to half. If I remove another M, it will give me the number 0, like July is 07. So each of these M's, because I'm dealing with month, that is why I have it as M, represent something. But I want it to follow this format. I want it to be full. I want it to be complete. I want it to be full M, write the full names of the months here. All right, not half of it. So I wrote M into 4 places. That is what this, from this place to this place, that is what it means. Then the last part, I want the quarter. Please create the quarter for each of the months, from this calendar using this format. All this Q and formats and Q is the formula to create the quarter. I hope somebody asked something. Princess Akoma, I hope you understand this now. Right? This is the formula to create these to create this quarter here. These ones that you're seeing here. To just please create the quarter here. This is the formula and the format it should take from these calendar dates. Do we understand it now? Do we understand it now? Let's quickly do the last part of those questions so that I'll discharge you guys. Guys, do we understand it now? Princess, are you still using your phone? Who else doesn't understand? Who understands and who doesn't understand? Please, guys, help me here. I need to hear from you guys, please. All right, as I said, let's continue. So for the last part where they said you should relate it to the other table, remember I said modeling is all about, all right, modeling said, modeling, I said earlier on, I said that modeling is all about relationship. So to relate to, create a relationship between these two tables now. To create a relationship between these two tables now, I'll carry these dates here. Watch me very closely. I'll take these dates here and drag it to this place. Just save. Don't do anything here. All right? Save. Now, a relationship has been created. This is your modeling. You can drag this. You can have one-to-one. You can have, okay, let me not go for that with that one. But this is the basics. I think right now this is it, a relationship has been created. This date and this other date, because I accommodated the information that is here on this date table. Somebody was saying something about the white thing. Let me know the white thing that you're talking about. Here, this is ampersand. This is ampersand. This, the white thing you're talking about is and. I don't know how to, like and and, like the symbol for and. I don't know if it is the same way in your own system. In computer, we call it the ampersand. Who was asking that thing? Princess, please, it is ampersand, amper. Do you get it now? in simple English, you guys might see it as the and sign. If you want to use symbol to represent and. Princess, do you get it now? So guys, all right, yes, that is what it is. So guys, this is exactly what you have been asked to do. This is just what you're being asked to do. So the next thing for you now to do, I'm not going to do that because it's an assignment for you guys. So please, then I've done the job. I've done the major thing here. I've done it for you guys. So the next thing for you to do is just to generate insights. And then generating, what I mean by generating insights is you look at what's that, this sales data. You want to know the profits that was made across each product. Look, I've told you guys what to do. Look at the data, and we have done the DAX expressions. We have understood our data. Just generate your insights. And I think you were given insights to generate. Where is it again? Where is that? You guys were given insight. I've done this, all these things. I've done it for you. But create a date table, build the following DAX, then get the total sales. This is very easy. The other ones, it is very easy for you guys to do. So guys, please carry on. You guys can carry on from here. I hope I'm permitted to leave you guys at this point, because I think you guys can carry on from here. Total sales, it is just what you need to do is just to get the sum. The formula is written here: sum, sales data, and then sales amount. That is how to get the total sales. I am not going to do, let's say, okay, if you want to find total sales, let's say you want to get, let me use one total sales now, card visual, right? I want to find it. Is it my card that I should use for that? Total sales. Total sales should be, sorry, they said find the total. Where is that thing again? Where is that? Build the following DAX measures. Okay, total sales, total profit, average order value. So how to build this? These ones are quite very easy to build. Total sales, you just create a measure for it. Come to this place, create a measure. Where is that? Create a measure. You click on this to get the total sales. I'm not going to do more than this one. Yeah, we call this total sales. See what I did? I went to create a measure. Total sales. Total sales. You have already been told what to do, and they gave you the formula. I said this sum of what did they say you should do here? Sum of sales data and sales amount. Sales data inside sales amount. Go down and look for sales amount. This, and press enter. Now this has been created. Let's find our, can rename total sales, and I wrote it measure total sales here. This is my total sales here. If I want to represent this, if you doubt that something is in it, get a card visual and put this. Check this. See, this is my total sales. So this is basically the best I can do for you guys, because it's an assignment. I've carried you all through. Okay, I will repeat that. I will repeat that. I want to rename this first. Total sales. That's the name. Okay, so here, go to model view. I just the date, because the relationship, the only information that is here and is here is the date. I just dragged. Hold down your cursor and drag it to this other date. The relationship will create automatically. Then you save it. Guys, am I permitted to leave now? Do you understand? Ijoma, do you understand? Do we understand it? Guys, do we understand? I need response. Ijoma, did you see what I did? Just hold down these dates, the dates. Hold down your cursor or your mouse pointer and take it to the other date. That's all. Same way you drag things. Look at the table now. Look at the two tables that we have. We have two tables looking at us here. Right? We have data table. We have our sales table. The sales table is the one that we imported. The data table is the one that we created. Yeah. All right. Thank you, David. I hope you guys are able to grab it. I hope you guys are in safe hands. I hope you guys can do the rest now. Please, 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 please. I need you guys to finish up this assignment. I need to see your work. I've taken out a huge chunk. Like, I took out this. I had to do this because I just want to carry all of you along. I don't just want you guys to go through the training in the name of going through the training. I want you to learn as much as you can, as much as you can grab. I want you guys to learn. Please, I want to see what you have done. I'll drop the formula in your group, team 1. I'll drop the formula in your group. Please, guys, I'm begging you, please get to work, get this done. This week is enough. All right, it's not rocket science. Please, and please. Right, I believe we have done justice to this today, from the very first one to this point. Right, so I think we can. Or do we have any question? Thank you. Thank you, Lusanya. Do we have any other question? I really need to leave now. Any other question? All right. I guess we don't have any more questions. Right. Thank you guys for joining up. All of you that joined up, thank you very much. It means more. It means something to me. And guys, please, at the end of the day, try to get your certificates. It's very important. Get your certificates. It's very important. It may not do so much as your skill, but it is an opening for you. It is an access. It adds up. It adds up. It's an access. It opens the door for you. Guys, try as much as you can. It's just 15K to prove that you have gone through this training. This is more than enough training. You don't get, let it not look like I'm talking, but I know what's in the system and I know what you can get out there. Guys, this is more than just basic. This is not basic training at all. So your certificate is very important as much as the skills is more important. The certificate adding up to your skills, it's a great, it is you have a great kind of edge over the others out there. So please do the work and finish up. I want to see your work. Thank you very much, guys, and God bless. Thank you all for joining up. Thank you. Yeah.